So the only thing I can start with is by comparison. If you invest $100,000 in a bank CD, then you have FDIC insurance. Right. Okay, we'll start there in one end of the spectrum, okay? FDIC is broke. So the reality of it is if the bank fails, you're probably still in trouble getting your money back. But nonetheless, it's insurance, okay? On the other end of the spectrum, you have things like this that are totally not insured. So what are your safeguards? Your safeguards are the risks that involve real estate risk, the risks that involve financing risk or leverage, the risks that involve operator error, the risks that involve market fluctuations or black swan events like unseen things like a pandemic coming. Those are your risks. If I look at all the risks that I see in real estate in this scenario, I've had them done. I've had RIAs like Neil write down what they perceive the risks to be. That list always ends up being between 8 and 10 things. And invariably in there, 6 of them are insurable, like earthquake and fire. I mean, those are insurable risks. And then they'll always have foreclosure, and they'll have losing the asset to the bank, which is kind of one and the same, right? The way you mitigate that is you just don't give the bank that much freedom. You just minimize the risk by lowering the loan to value, right? So that's that. The one that you can never get away from is operator error. At bottom, there's always going to be that. Whoever's managing the portfolio, whoever the operator is, they're making decisions when you're not around, and that's your risk. And the way I look at that is if you can trust that they're not going to steal the money, then that takes sort of fraud off the table, right? So let's assume that you're able to evaluate their character that much. You may not be able to evaluate their competency, but their character. And then if you go to just the competency piece, now the question is, are they making the right decisions? And the way I look at that is that's the distance between getting a 15% return on investment or getting an 8% return. That's what operator error can do. If the operator is not very smart, then you get an 8 or a 6 or a 5. If the operator is really on their job, then you get a 15, 16, 17. But that's the risk. It's not a principal loss risk. It's just a performance issue.